All right, all right. A Dallas man by the name of Kevin Bain is under investigation from the Highland Park Police Department, says Sergeant Lance Coppa, or Copa, depending on the pronunciation, Koppa, for having made a Facebook post that said, anyone or business owner who tells me to wear a mask can kiss my corona ass. Well, that's not all of the post, apparently, but he followed up by saying that do I have to show some security guard at a ghetto store my corona or my COVID-19 results? I will show him my Glock 21 shooting range results. He was fired by Thompson Knight LLC, a law firm where he was a document service manager. I'm assuming in Dallas area, for having said such a thing, saying it does not meet their standards, and they do not want people saying things that endanger the health of the community. So, is what Bain said freedom of speech, his right to say it on his Facebook page anytime he wants, or is it a veiled threat? Oh, man. Where we are now. You cannot make a joke at all without the PC police crawling up your butt and doing everything possible to cause you problems. The guy said that he would show them his Glock 21 shooting results. You know, I don't care if you tell someone to kiss your butt, and I really don't care if you tell them you're going to show them your Glock 21 results. But you've got to understand the society you're in now. And that, unfortunately, especially if you made something like that public, you're inviting that kind of feedback from people who, number one, can't take a joke, and number two, are scared out of their pants by a loud fart. I don't know if Kevin Bain is just one of those people who's fed up with this. My assumption is quite clearly yes. I understand where the guy's coming from with the irritation. Now, within Dallas County, they are allowed, essential businesses are allowed to refuse service to people if they do not wear a mask. So they can say, nope, not doing any business with you. Leave our store. And really, it comes down to they're a private business. I don't like it. I think the masks are dangerous. They don't allow for proper ventilation for breathing. No matter how you wear them or how long you wear them or how much airspace there is, they will impact your breathing if you wear them for any period of time over like 30 minutes. Tops. It's going to impact your breathing. It's hard to hear people through them. It's hard to talk through them because you're constantly spitting on yourself on the inside of the mask. But if they tell you they want you to wear a mask and you don't want to, just leave. I mean, to engage them, engaging people in a public situation, like if you're at a rally or something and you're saying, I'm not going to wear your masks, I'm not going to wear your gloves, I want a normal life again, that's one thing. When you go into a private business, just like that baker all those times back, and even just like the place I defended before, what was it, a couple of weeks ago or a week or so ago, and I was saying, uh, what was the place? I know my brain. But when a private business says they want you to do something, and if you don't want to do it, then just go away from that private business. Go somewhere else. I don't think what he did was a veiled threat. I think if it was a veiled threat, he would have said something more to the effect of, if you want me to wear your mask, then you and I are going to have a serious problem. That would be more like a veiled threat. Saying that he'll show you his Glock 21 shooting range results is more like, hey, I got a big gun. You want to see how hard it? You want to know what my results is? Like, what is that? Is that gonna, I think the security guard will be freaked out if you if you accompany your results with a loaded weapon, and you'll probably be arrested, rightfully so, especially if you're accompanying that with evidence that you're going to do something. But just saying something like that, obviously the guy did not go and do anything about it. At least not yet. He may have been pissed, and I don't know if this guy has a history of mental issues or whatever else, but you can't just jump at every little thing someone says and go, okay. I mean, there's evidence where it's like people were saying, I'm going to kill people, I'm going to kill people, I'm going to kill people. Well, of course you should pay attention to people saying that. This guy never said anything about hurting anybody, and now he's lost his job because a company's like, it doesn't meet our standards. Well, they're a law firm, and they're essentially telling him, you don't have the freedom to say what you want to say. And he didn't say any, their standard is his actions would threaten the health of other people. That doesn't mean he's threatening the health of other people if he doesn't want to wear a mask. Do you have any idea if he's even been tested? He may be one of the asymptomatic people who's already got the antibodies and has gotten through it and is safe and is not going to spread it on to anyone else. So I don't think the law firm was in the right. I hope the law firm pays a little bit of a price for that kind of action, because it's just not right to just fire someone because they make a statement you don't like. You can work for someone, but unless he's like a really well-known public figure of some kind, and he is like as though he was like a spokesperson for your business, if this guy has like 300 or 400 people on, Facebook as his friends, tops, and he's saying something like that, it's not a mass audience. So he's not affecting anybody by saying it except a little troll who wanted to go, look, he said something mean. He said he wanted people to kiss his corona butt. It's like, get over it, dude. It was a comment. Whoever it was that, I mean, these little tattletale people, it's like we're in elementary school nowadays. People are like, well, he said something that was mean, and that hurt someone's feelings. We don't like to hurt anyone's feelings. I mean, what are we in the era of the second childhood? No matter how old you are, you're 40 years old and you're scared crapless by someone saying something you don't like. I don't like the A word. Well, in Kevin Bain's situation, he would have told them to kiss his corona butt. Oh, I'm sorry, he said his corona ass. His butt's not. His corona butt would be too PC. He told them to go straight for the A with the two squiggly lines. We just have a real problem now, and not one that's clearly being fixed, where freedom of speech is being determined by a certain group of people. And there shouldn't be people determining what is freedom of speech. Freedom of speech should be universal, meaning if you want to use a hateful word, you use a hateful word, and you just don't interact with those people if you don't like them. Not to the point where we're getting people arrested or fined or trying to cause them problems in their lives. Just don't talk to them. And I don't agree with Bain going and telling someone, or not. I don't disagree with him stating his opinion. I don't think he, has to do business with them. And maybe he didn't. I mean, for all we know, he could have told these guys, fine, you know what? You can kiss my Corona butt. I'm not going into your store. I'm not buying anything from you people. I'd rather show you my Glock 21 results than my Corona 19 or COVID-19 results. And maybe he just walked away and he was venting on his Facebook. It's like you can't vent anything anymore without being, a culprit of something. You're not even a suspect. You're a culprit. And for those who think that it'll never happen to you because you walk that line, the line of freedom of speech, that little open terrain, that wide open country of freedom speech keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And eventually, you're only going to be allowed to use certain words. And those people who are right now reporting people for using words they don't like will eventually be reported for using words other people don't like. And they'll be upset about it. But you know what? You won't have any recourse because you keep creating this tightening noose around people's freedom of speech. And eventually it will tighten around your neck. Oh my God, Kingsley, you made a veiled threat. No, I'm not telling you that I'm going to do it. I'm telling you you're doing it yourself. And not in a literal sense. Because if you think I'm being literal, then you clearly don't understand the concept of metaphorics. I'm telling you that you cannot continue to try and stop people's freedom of speech without eventually, as you limit theirs, you're also going to limit yours. The only ones who seem to have exceptions are the ones who in the media get a pass. And that's because the media is incredibly dangerous. Incredibly dangerous. They've been given entirely too much power. That's the danger of a free market. But it's also where we are in society. And there's going to be a breaking point. There's going to be a breaking point. People may not think that's going to happen, but it will. It's going to get to a point where people's frustrations are going to cause them to snap. And I don't mean in a violent, let's take everybody out sense, but in a sense where they're going to say, I'm no longer going to, be a part of this kind of country in this way. We don't want to be a part of this kind of country. That's what the revolution was about. The American Revolution, the establishment of the United States, the colonies, the United States, all that was because they felt increasingly like they were losing their liberty and they did not want to live in that kind of life. And that's where we're on our way to right now. We're getting back to a place of King George and all that stuff. Little over 240 years later. Actually more than that, more like 250 years, because it was an evolving process. But we're getting back to that now. Thomas Jefferson, Franklin, Lincoln, all these people saw it coming. They all saw it coming. And we're getting there again. It's not like it's a surprise. Because as you start to take away the things that innately people desire because you don't like it and because you're selfish, people who want to take away freedom of speech are the selfish ones in this. You can say all you want that it's the people who, keep saying these things that are selfish and dangerous, but no, they're not, because venting is a part of life. If you don't vent, then you don't ever get it out, and it stays in and it builds up and it manifests into something that can be dangerous. So when you start restricting people and their freedom of speech and you start hurting people like this guy here, in a way, this guy's a martyr because he's another person who's being fired for using his freedom of speech and expressing his frustration. Yes, there will be a lot of people on the side of the media who will call this guy dangerous and all this. But there will be people on the other side who go, you know what? This is so wrong. The guy can't even just vent without being judged. And they're going to become that much more irritated with people censoring him. And they're going to fall in line on the other side. There is a boiling point. It's coming. Those little light bubbles are becoming bigger and bigger by the day. Bigger and bigger by the day. And I'm not saying it will be tomorrow, but one of these tomorrows, that boiling point is going to be reached, and you will not be able to stop the evaporation of the United States as we know it. And that's just reality.